There was a musical matchup between Austyns and Austyns Stancil on the third night of battles on season 26 of The Voice. The matchup was set to the tune of Sam Smith's "Lay Me Down." Coach Gwen Stefani put the two contestants together. The vocal styles of Stancil and Austyns are a fantastic match for this song, since it is a soft tune that is full with feelings that are piercing. Stancil gave a performance of "Ooh Baby Baby" by Smokey Robinson that was quite diverse, and Austyns gave a rendition of "Traitor" by Olivia Rodrigo. Both of these performances took place during the blind auditions. They were both deserving of a 4-chair turn from the coaches, and in the end, they were assigned to Team Gwen. Right now, in the battles, the very best competitors are competing against one another in order to earn a spot in the knockout phase. After a battle victor has been proclaimed, the coaches have the opportunity to steal the runner-up before they depart the show forever. This is a fortunate moment for everyone involved. During the rehearsals, Stefani made the following statement: "I put you guys together knowing that one of you is actually going to get stolen. It will take place in the future." The battle between Austyns Stancil and Austyns for the Gwen team on The Voice. Stancil received coaching from Stefani regarding his stage appearance throughout rehearsals, with the primary focus being on maintaining a connection with the audience. Because of this approach, Stancil and Austyns came out swinging in a figurative sense during the battle. This orientation proved to be quite successful. Both of them maintained a relationship that was important in the success of the song, with each of them providing space for the other to shine. Before the song had even finished playing, Stefani leaned over to confront her fellow coaches with the question, "What am I going to do?" Wow, it was just incredible. Not only is Doza great, but Austyns is simply incredible. According to Reba McEntire, "I love the way you played off the audience, and I love the choreography that you chose to perform. It seemed as though you two had been singing together for a very long time because everything was so well polished and excellent. Completely and utterly adored it." There were a few instances in which I mistakenly believed that I had captured the holy ghost of the criminal. Undoubtedly, this is a battle, but it did not feel like one at all. It was as if you guys were working together, collaborating with each other, and allowing each other the opportunity to showcase your vocal abilities, Snoop Dogg stated. "I am overjoyed for both of you, and I am aware that I will be here to take care of you in the event that either of you does not make it." A sense of expectancy could be felt throughout the studio when the stage lights were turned down. The 26th season of The Voice was in full swing, and it was now time for the battle rounds, which are a defining point in the career of each and every contender. During this round, the singers would not only be evaluated on their technical abilities, but also on their ability to establish an emotional connection with the audience. There were a lot of talented people competing for the limelight, but two artists, Austyns Stancil and Austyns, stood out from the crowd. Overall, the competition was strong. In the near future, they were going to perform a duet of Sam Smith's song, "Lay Me Down," which was going to be a moment of musical magic that nobody would forget in a hurry. Both Reba McEntire and Gwen Stefani, who are the formidable coaches that are leading Austyns and Austyns, respectively, were in the hot seat, ready to guide their artists through this crucial performance. It was not only them, however. Snoop Dogg and Michael Bublé, two of the most well-known figures in the music industry, were invited to participate in this edition of the Battle Rounds, which featured a new twist consisting of a guest judging panel comprised of music giants. Given the combined experience of these four icons, it was obvious that the evening would be one that would be remembered for a very long time. As the scene was being prepared for the conflict, the tension was particularly high due to the significance of the moment. Both Austyns, who is renowned for his deep and emotional baritone voice, and Austyns, who is recognized for his silky and soaring tenor, had previously demonstrated that they were a formidable challenger. They were going to face each other on stage tonight, and their voices were going to blend together to create a moment that was truly amazing. The song that they decided to go with was "Lay Me Down," a romantic ballad written by Sam Smith. It was a song about love, grief, and longing. It was the ideal platform for them to demonstrate their vocal prowess and the emotional depth they possess. At the beginning of the song, the music started slowly, and as Austyns took the first verse, The entire room seemed to stop breathing. His singing was full of depth, brimming with yearning, and rooted in a vulnerability that created a profound resonance with each and every note. He sung, his voice heavy with the genuine emotion that he was experiencing. "I'm so scared to be lonely." Each and every phrase appeared to float in the air, suspended by the emotion that was behind it. His delivery was flawless. The audience was drawn in as if they were privy to a highly personal moment because of the rich baritone that Austyn voiced, which filled the room. While sitting in her chair, Gwen Stefani expressed her gratitude by nodding her head. Reba was the recipient of her hushed words. "Austyn's voice is a force." However, I am confident that Josie will contribute something that is equally as remarkable to this. Reba, who had been a veteran for a long time, smiled with confidence. She was aware that the competition was not only about winning technically, but also about making connections with other people. Following then, Josie's time came as the music became more intense. His voice came with a smoothness, and his tenor rose effortlessly into the air as he introduced himself. He sang, "I Lay Me Down," with a kind of ease that only a truly good vocalist is capable of achieving. He accomplished this by hitting the high notes with ease. Despite the fact that his phrasing was delicate, there was strength behind every note, and he gave his own unique brand of emotional depth to the words. A dynamic that was both lovely and intriguing was established as a result of the contrast of Austyn's grounded baritone with Josie's soaring tenor. Their voices blended together in a way that was nothing short of spectacular. Throughout the course of the song, they harmonized in a way that was both natural and flawless, as if they were two voices that were intended to sing together. The depth of their comprehension of the emotional weight of the song was demonstrated by the way in which they interwoven their melodies, which was a credit to their vocal powers. Michael Bublé and Snoop Dogg shared a glance as Snoop Dogg assumed a more relaxed position on his chair. The hip-hop icon and the crooner had styles that were quite different from one another, but they appeared to be equally enthralled by the performance that was taking place in front of them. The laid-back calm that Snoop was known for gave way to a rare moment of appreciation when he made the statement, "This is a vibe. They definitely have chemistry with one another." A nod of agreement was given by Michael Bublé, who is known for his distinctive silky delivery and sophisticated taste in music. It's astonishing how well they get along with each other. They are both skilled at tugging at your emotions if you let them. When Austyn and Josie reached the chorus, the music reached a soaring crescendo that increased in intensity. Having reached the point where they were completely submerged in the emotional depths of the song, the two vocalists sung in perfect unison, their voices rising together as if they were one. They were able to convey a sense of vulnerability through their tones, and the audience was able to sense the genuine emotion that emanated from each note. Despite the fact that the sorrow of love, loss, and yearning was evident, it was impossible to deny the synergy that existed between Austyn and Josie. The audience was completely captivated, and they were clinging to every word, every note, and every breath. The moment that was the culmination of everything was when Reba's eyes shone with pride. However, it was evident that Josie, who was being directed by Gwen, was equally commanding. Her artist, Austyn, had actually come to life in the song. It was with a smile that she turned to Gwen. Tonight, these two are going to steal the show. I must state that this is without a doubt one of the most fascinating confrontations that I have ever witnessed. When the final notes of the song were about to be played, both of the contestants, who were now perfectly in tune with one another, let their voices to swell for the very last time. The song came to a close with a resolution that was both calm and agonizing, and the studio was left in a hushed silence. During that brief period, nobody moved. The show left a lasting impression on the audience due to the emotional impact it had. Applause broke out from the audience at that moment, and the audience's cheers were a reflection of the intensity of the performance that they had just watched. Reba was the first to stand up, and she clapped enthusiastically. She expressed her pleasure by saying, "That was absolutely stunning," and her voice was full with joy. "You both ought to feel an overwhelming sense of pride for what you've accomplished tonight. I consider it a privilege to have been a part of this collaboration, because you have made this song your own." Gwen said, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "Josie and Austyn, You two have just established a new benchmark for the battle rounds. The experience was nothing short of enchanted. Both of the contenders received a smile from her. It was when I heard the two of you sing together that I realized we had something truly remarkable. But tonight you have demonstrated that you are prepared for whatever lies ahead. With his hands linked in front of him, Snoop Dogg leaned forward and leaned forward. His laid-back demeanor vanished as he bestowed upon them both a rare and sincere compliment. Now that was something he said of the other individual. An exceptional performance is one in which the audience is able to sense the presence of the performer's heart. To tell you the truth, you have that soul. In true gentlemanly fashion, Michael Bublé stood up and applauded while wearing a broad smile on his face. Regarding the rendition of this song, I could not have hoped for a more perfect one. Both the harmonies and the emotional delivery were flawless, and there was really no competition. Duets were performed to a high standard here. In response to the growing volume of applause, the contestants turned to face one another and exchanged a gaze that conveyed a great deal of information. Something amazing had just been conveyed between them. It was something that went beyond competitiveness and was not about anything else but the music. They had put their whole selves into the performance, and it had paid off in a way that would leave an impression on the audience long after the conflict had been resolved. There was now a challenging choice that needed to be made by all four of the coaches. They would have to make a decision regarding the victor of the fight, despite the fact that their hearts were heavy with the weight of the great performance that they had just witnessed. However, regardless of the conclusion, it was evident that Austyns Stancil and Doja Lulis had already garnered the respect and affection of their contemporaries and the people who had guided them. The moment of pure brilliance that was their duet had become the standard for future battle rounds on The Voice. It was a moment that would remain imprinted in the minds of viewers for many years to come. In the end, as Reba and Gwen pondered, Snoop Dogg and Michael Bublé stood in silent wonder, certain that they had just watched something absolutely exceptional. They were certain that they had just witnessed a memorable duet that would become a landmark moment in the history of The Voice.